Zeus had to be at every
All
meeting.
right, we'll call this meeting to order for the select board.
And we'll do the same for the budget committee.
First on the agenda is pledge of allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next up, is there any citizen comments? Seeing none, we'll move along. All right, budget presentations, Chief Smeltzer, front and center. Oh,
Before the chief speaks, I just want to advise everyone that I'm a volunteer fireman. I don't believe I have any conflict of interest with anything that come up before the committees and the board tonight. But I wanted to make everybody aware of that, and I will leave it to you to decide whether I should vote on anything or not.
Probably financially, probably you shouldn't.
Just the other thing I wanted to mention is it's page 17 in your general fund section of your book, if you wanted to see where the chief will be at top.
17?
Yes, thank you. I think you need this.
All right, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Evening. Our budget's pretty well straightforward in there. Most of our increases, like the other departments, fall under the payroll compensation and the benefits. The one increase, major increase, was under travel and meals, travel and meeting expense. And we added in $2,500. And the one thing that we've added to that is I'd like to start putting in for mileage reimbursement for my personal vehicle that that I use for all of our response. Just about all our calls, my truck ends up there. It's used for traffic control, it's used to carry equipment, it's used to carry firefighters. I use it for all kinds of things for the benefit of the town. And so I've requested that this year. That's in there, and that's really the only new thing that's in the budget this year. Happy to entertain any questions.
There are your firefighters sitting out, not lying down.
That's correct. That's correct.
You awake, Mr. Chairman?
Oh, sorry. I'm trying to, just looking at numbers, you said there wasn't much change. Go ahead, Bill, sorry.
Can you explain to everybody here what the main LoSAT program's all about?
Yeah, be happy to. That's the Length of Service Award. It was a program that we entered into last year. This was our first contribution this year. Basically what it is, it's a retention tool that the state of Maine has developed. And it's sort of a retirement program for volunteer firefighters. And the contribution that the town has done is we just did a flat rate this year. Everybody that's on the department got the deposit into their account. Going forward, the state, you have to meet certain criteria in order to get a deposit in your account from the state. And Dale and Peg and I have decided that we're going to use that same formula for the town's contribution portion of it. Depends on how many calls you respond to, how many trainings you respond to, those type of things. And then it'd be a percentage, and that's how it would be determined how much goes into each of those individual accounts.
So the 6750, that's through a formula from the state? Is that just an amount we can,
That was we decided to use the same amount this year as we did last year because it's new and that we didn't have any of the things really ironed out.
Yeah, the dollar amount isn't in a formula with the state, Billy. It's whatever the town wants to contribute. They could contribute whatever they wanted to.
that, that's where I'm going with this, because if the town can contribute whatever they want, and if we're worrying about retaining and bringing on and keeping firefighters, why shouldn't we just make that $10,000?
If you're asking me personally, I think that it's because it's new and we haven't ironed it out just yet. So to me, I thought it would be best to keep it consistent as it was. Like, I haven't even made the deposit for the current year that we're in just yet because it's so new. So.
Well, I'm just
thought
going, I'm
process
just
that Why
basing,
just pull something out of the air?
I'm just basing it on previous conversations, you know, having trouble getting firefighters, retaining them.
Right.
You know, why not make it worth their while that if they hang around for 33 years? And is this retroactive, so I can collect 33 years worth of?
I wish, for some of us, older folks, it's not gonna really amount to much for us, but
Younger ones
the
coming
new ones
on,
that are joining now is the ones that will hopefully see the benefit from it.
and if I can continue
Which
at
line item is this, Bill, just? so-
Benefits tab. Employee benefits.
1575,
Okay, I get you.
and we still have the automatic 2-hour payout call,
We do,
stipend for interiors.
yes.
What's the stipend? Still 150?
Yeah, it's right around 150. I don't think that changed at all.
I'd just like to see that upped. And I guess if it had to balance itself out, maybe instead of $2 an hour more, $1.50 more. And up that LoSAP funding. I think you'd be able to keep guys and bring on some new blood that would wanna hang around for a few years. That's just my food for thought.
Anybody else?
Yeah,
John first, I guess.
Chief, what's your manning level right now? Obviously, we know what you want. There's one chief, one assistant chief, one deputy chief, 3 captains, 3 lieutenants, 1 training officer, 27 interior. What do you actually have now?
Right now, we have 2 chief officers,
You and
Dale. We have 1 captain and 4 lieutenants.
You have 4 lieutenants.
We have 4 lieutenants right now. We went through a promotion process, and town manager and I felt rather than jumping people right into spots, we're trying to develop some leadership before we move them up into those higher spots. So it is our intent to fill those spots. We're just working with some of the younger folks to give them some more experience before we put them right into those spots.
I remember the old days, it was all lieutenants and no captains.
That's right.
And how about interior certified?
Interior certified, right now, we have 17 that are interior certified. We have 2 that will remain exterior, scene support folks. And we have 1 that is currently in the basic fire school who will be interior certified. Plus, I'm extremely proud of, we have 5 junior firefighters currently that are all students at Madomic Valley. And all 5 of those, 1 is in the Midcoast School of Technology in their firefighter 1 and 2 program. So he'll be completely, fully certified when he graduates high school. And the other 4 are currently in the basic fire school as well. So they're too young to be able to fight fire, but they're gonna have the training when they reach that age, so.
And of those 17 interior, that also includes the deputy chief, the chief.
And the chief, yes,
And your lieutenants.
yes.
Who manages the program? Does this go into the state general fund, or is it invested in?
The LoSAP,
Yeah, the LoSAP.
The LoSAP.
The money, where does it go?
it does, it's individual investments. The lady that handles the investments for the state hired a vendor, a person to do it. They oversee it, it's a state program, they put contributions into it. She came and met with the whole department. Each member was able to pick what type of investment they wanted their funds to go into for their individual account, and they all all got to do that, and they can manage it through their cell phone. There's an app, they can look at it and see how they're doing. So for the younger folks, I really think that it's gonna be a worthwhile retention tool for. Especially, it's gonna help us even more when we implement the formula for our contribution to it. So that they'll wanna show up more, so they get more.
But it
into
is
their-
private equities that are invested in.
Yes,
And they have a smorgasbord of,
yeah,
okay.
yes.
Chief, just out of curiosity, what's your call volume been this year compared to previous?
We're running about the same. We're at 176, 177
Yeah.
right now. Last year, I just did the numbers today, we were 264 for the year last year.
Okay, so this.
And
you're
that's
going-
from July.
You're going fiscal year?
Yeah, fiscal year.
I just wanted to add about the investment side, if you were interested, you could look it up, the State of Maine LoSAP program, it has all kinds of financial information in there.
Just get a couple of questions. For 2024's year-to-date spending, a lot of it's only about half. We've gone through 9 months. Do you expect to spend the rest of that?
Yeah, because I never know how many emergencies we're gonna have, how many calls we'll have, I'm very conservative until the last month.
Okay.
Once, because I just don't know what's gonna happen. I try to keep the budget down. If we have a major repair, if we have a significant number of emergency calls, that could throw the budget askew. So I really try to hold off on our spending until we get towards the end of the fiscal year, and then I make our purchases then.
Okay, all right, awesome. I just want a clarification.
Yep.
Because I know a lot of it, you spend about half of what you allocated. Like, you did it with 127,000 more last, what you budgeted for 2024.
Wait, what? Say that again?
Well, we budgeted 245,000,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
and we've only spent 118. That's why I was asking. You can spend another 127,000 between now and the end, the next 3 months?
Yeah, we could. We have still, all the servicing needs to be done on the trucks. And I don't purchase, we always get 4 sets of gear. Our hose, we don't do any of those purchases till we get closer to the end of the year, so.
I just want a clarification in case somebody
Yep.
asks, that,
Yep.
we spent half their budget, why are they getting twice as much, the same amount the following year, or increase? Anybody else got any questions? Go ahead.
Yes, I'm curious, just on your overall assessment of the state of the fire department at this point. Last year we talked about trucks and people and stuff. Has anything changed, or?
We're pretty much in the same situation that we were, and it's the same situation that all our neighbors are having at the same time. We've taken the approach this year, Calvin Moran, he's taken the lead on it, that we've decided that we're just gonna educate the public. We're gonna tell them that we are a volunteer fire department. This is the service we can provide. This is the time it's gonna take for us to provide that service, and just so they know. I tried to do the change last year, didn't happen, and so we're just gonna go about as far as educating everybody that this is what we can do for you. This is, when you call 911, we are gonna come, it's just gonna take us a while. And that's just one of the things of being a volunteer fire department. I mean, it's been that way for years, and we're gonna,
75% of the fire departments in the states are
all the same thing,
volunteer.
all the same
It
thing,
is.
so.
So during the daytime, responses are limited because so many people are out of town working, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's still basically the same?
Yeah, I'm very fortunate that we have the ones we have. We've got 3 or 4 that are retired, that are around, and they're here for the daytime, and they start out and the rest of us come and we get here as soon as we can and jump in, so.
Well, we talked about maybe you're getting some help from some of the other departments, a little bit of cross-training going on. Has any of that evolved here?
Cross-training has definitely evolved. We currently, right now, I spoke at the Basic Fire School. We're doing that with Damerscott and Newcastle and Noblesboro. We've got 21 students in the class right now from all across. So we are doing that. We got together with several of our mutual aid departments and we did a joint training at the Damerscott Y one evening a couple months ago. So we are working at doing that. One of our adjacent mutual aid towns is really struggling during the day, even more so than us. And so we're sort of tag teaming. Damerscott is doing quite a bit to help them out during the day. And myself and the other chiefs, we're listening to their calls. If they need something, we'll jump in. So we're all trying to look out for each other. And
I was referring more to interdepartmental in town.
yes, okay, yes. I met with Johnny and Will and Julie and Peg and we met. We are gonna go and meet with some of the public works crew, see what their level of interest is, and we talked about you know, some possible incentives that we might be able to offer to them. And so yeah, we're moving in that direction, try to see what we can pull out. And
Go ahead, Bob.
On the mutual aid side, are we giving as much as we get?
yeah, luckily,
We don't need to rebalance.
don't I know.
Are we giving more than we get?
I hate to say the word right now, but yes, town of Waldo has been very fortunate that we have been able to give more than we receive, and that's not a bad thing. So,
There's been some noise about OSHA and some regulations that's going to affect maybe even all of us. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
yeah, I don't know if any of you have heard about it or read about it, but OSHA has put out a 650-page document that they're proposing for changes. And to be completely 100% honest with you, I haven't put too much effort into that at the moment. Number one, it's nationwide, and we're a pretty little town. So I'm waiting to see how the chips fall. If it does fall, everything changes. We're out of business. I mean, it's ridiculous, the stuff that they put in there. Bureau of Labor for the state of Maine is opposed to it. They're not in favor of it. So we're just waiting. I have a chiefs meeting on the 27th with the other chiefs in the state of Maine. And we're gonna be working with Susan Collins and Angus King, our legislators, to try to squash it. The problem with it is that everything that they're proposing is for the health and safety of firefighters. So it's really hard to fight against it, but the realistic nature of what it will do to every fire department will be detrimental. We won't be able to have a fire truck over 15 years old. I got 40-year-old trucks sitting over there. And we're talking, every firefighter's gonna have to have a mental and physical evaluation every year. No fire gear over 10 years old. Any fire officer in the fire department is gonna have to be NFPA certified, the firefighter or fire officer 1 and 2 level. The requirements that they're gonna put on for volunteers is just, and there is an article in the Lincoln County News, the Somerville Fire Chief, he's brought it to their select board already, and they wrote it pretty well. And if anybody wants more information, I'd be happy to email it to you. But
Example of non-elected officials, bureaucrats making changes.
The Maine Ambulance Association is, to echo Paul, they're coming out with opposition to it as well. So it's the same boat, we're in the same boat, you know, the administrator's gonna fall the cost too, it's crazy.
When I inquired about who was driving it, I wanted to know who was really behind it. They're standing behind that it's our OSHA forms that we send in every year, that people are getting injured. That, you know, we're still injuring firefighters are still passing away, the numbers aren't going down, it's the same every year, and they really wanna fix that. So, like I said, it's hard to fight against it, but it's just that it's just so drastic, so much at once that it's gonna be tough, so.
How many trucks do we have? I mean, I know about the gear and stuff because I'm wearing the damn stuff. But how many trucks do we have that if they pass that 15-year thing, is that like half our fleet?
Pretty much half of it.
And two-thirds of our staff probably couldn't pass the physical. And, you know, I hate to say it.
I know.
I'm 76
And you
years
haven't
old.
even touched on mental yet.
Yeah.
All right, so,
Yeah. And that's why I said, I'm focusing on the stuff I have control over right now, and I'm not gonna worry about that until it comes. And when it comes, then we'll all be sitting in this room figuring it out. But until then, I'm gonna keep pushing forward and.
well, that brings me back to the truck that you asked for a year ago, because I have the papers on it. So if they pass this, then we're mandated, along with a zillion other fire departments in the country, to replace our truck. What's that gonna do, number one, to the price of it, and number two, to the delivery time? If somebody-
Availability.
I mean, am I gonna be alive when it arrives, if we can afford it, because the price has gone through the roof?
Yeah, I don't have a crystal ball. I can only tell you what's happened. Last year, when I gave all of you, I believe, and I gave Mr. Burgess one, I left one on your seat there. Just since then, last year, I had the price in for the truck that I requested last year, over 800,000, and it's, that exact truck now is at 1.1.
So
In
we've
12
already
months.
Lost $300,000 in the last.
Over
year.
250.
Oh, that's good then.
Maybe
250,
we
so.
should buy fire trucks and then sell them the next year. Make profit.
Yeah. And it's sad because our trucks aren't worth anything when we're done with, because we keep them for 40 years. So they're not, there's no resale value to them. The engine, inside engine 3, I'll put that up against any new diesel engine that's coming out anywhere. It's slow. Kids pass us on their bicycles going to fires because it has no speed to it, but it's a solid truck. Problem is that now every time something breaks on it, we have to have the parts manufactured because they're not available anymore. We just spent $78 getting a sealed beam light for it because it had to be made to go into it. So that's what we're running into now is the cost of.
Does anybody else got any questions?
Yeah, one more. OSHA, when it enforces laws against businesses, they fine the business. If we were to become non-compliant, would the town be fined?
The way it works is the Bureau of Labor is the one that oversees the town. Like OSHA specifically hasn't come in. If someone got hurt here, OSHA might come in. But the Bureau of Labor does inspections, random. We participate in a program called the SHAPE program, where we invite the Bureau of Labor in to review our training records, review all of my record keeping. They check our gear, check the trucks, check everything. And that gives us now it's up to a 5-year sort of insurance policy that we can't be randomly inspected and fined because we've done the work in advance on good terms, that we're sort of protected through that period.
Well,
So
that's one aspect of it, but we were talking about fire trucks. if the town doesn't have the money to buy a fire truck, we're not gonna have the money to pay a fine either. So what is the enforcement mechanism to get the town to buy a brand-new fire truck?
Again, we're not to that point yet. That's why I said I'm not worrying about it till we get to that point.
I know, it's before my time that I saw one file, and I can't remember what department it was, but we had received something from OSHA that told us we had to fix something to be compliant with it a certain amount of time before anything had transpired. And so that was done, but I would assume they would give us the same chance at least to
Opportunity,
answer,
correct.
right, to answer or correct.
I have no recollection, I don't know if Billy or Dale do, but I have no recollection of OSHA ever stepping in the fire
Not
department.
OSHA, Bureau of Labor.
Bureau of Labor, yes. Bureau of Labor's been here, but OSHA's never.
Johnny might remember.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna throw an OSHA guy down the hopper.
True story.
That's why they don't come around anymore. Thanks, Johnny.
I told that would done our transportation.
And Scott Lash and the other guy took him up once, calmed him down.
Does anybody else get any more questions? Would somebody like to make a motion on this?
I'll make a motion to approve the budget as requested.
At $269,960.
I'll second
That's it.
that motion.
Okay. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Okay.
Okay, the select board has approved $269,960 for fire services. We have a motion on that for the budget.
Question.
Ben? John, second?
Yep.
Any discussion? All those in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Unopposed, 1 abstain.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
You're all set, Paul?
Thank you.
The Johnny Daigle, front and center. What page is that, Ed?
That is on page 29.
Thank you.
My budget, the increases aren't from wages or benefits. I guess I missed that memo. Wish I'd known, but that's okay. Anyways, we've had pretty easy winter. Real easy. We plowed 6 times. We sanded, I think it's like 22, 23 times. So there is some stuff here I'd like to decrease the budget on. That'd be on the winter sand.
What number is that?
That would be on
70.
page 31,
Yep.
under road 7020, sands and gravel, right?
Yep,
What page?
The 29,500?
yeah, 20. Yeah, I'd like to drop that 17,800.
So the same as the year before.
What it is, well, the year before,
11.7.
year before was free. Remember, I done wheeling down with that guy.
No, but you said you wanted to drop it by 17,800, is that what you said?
I want the total price to be 17,800.
Oh. Okay, got it.
I got just a question, John. Is that gonna give you enough sand stock?
Yes.
Okay.
What the reason I'm dropping it to that, we have our own pit. I hire somebody to screen it. We used to do our own screening, but we had to deal with OSHA, MSHA, and the labor board. It wasn't worth it. I don't get along good with them. So we contracted out. If we went out to bid for the amount of sand that we use, we'd be 90 to 100,000 a year. So, sort of figured we'd do it this way. It's a hell of a lot cheaper. But if you guys got problems with it, I'll up it, you know. Really.
So that's 17, I'm sorry,
Yep,
Go ahead, John.
that's 17.8?
Yep.
That includes the screening? That's the screening and the trucking?
no, we do the trucking.
We do it ourselves?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have the trucks.
The big truck, not
Yeah.
me.
So what it is, I'm going from 5,000 yards, screening to 3. I've got sand left over, in the building, because we didn't use that much. I don't want to get caught like I did last year with the salt. That kind of screwed me, because this time of year we could still get storms. And I screwed myself last year on the salt, because after we had this, we ended up using more salt, and I'd already cut my amount, so I'm not doing that. That's why I figured 3,000. If by the time this winter's over, if I can get by with 2,500, that's what I'll do, you know. So that's one of them. Okay, cutting edges. I just assume, drop that down to 7,450. It was 17,000.
What line item is that?
That's just
70/50?
Yeah, 70/50.
50 blades,
Yeah.
cutting edges.
Yep. And recent gas, we,
What do you wanna drop it into, John?
7,000.
So you wanna take
Take
10,000 off it?
Yeah, take 10,000 off of it.
Just take 10,000?
Yep. I can't give you more. We
That
might
must
get
not be the
storm.
truck you're driving.
Huh? No, no. No. So, that's pretty much it. I was gonna, see about, fuel, but the way things are going, I don't dare touch that, because I don't know what's gonna happen next winter on that. We're doing services for the ambulance. I think I'm kind of messing up myself, because usually his average is, he spends about 27,000 a year, and so far I've only charged him 4,000. So I might be screwing myself, I don't know. That's up to you guys to decide.
Clearing the throat back there.
Yeah, I know.
Happy about that.
I know. So, you know, we're doing everything we can. If you guys see anything here you want me to cut, not a problem. But then you gotta tell me what road that I have to make that cut from. So.
Johnny.
Oh, shoot. Hi, Julie.
Hi, Johnny Dangle. This was your first winter in the last 7 years with a full crew. How did that go for you?
Really good. You know, we was able to cover all routes like we used to back in the 2015. We was able to do it, you know, at regular pace, you know, made life a lot easier. The trucks could get around quicker. You know, by the time you take these trucks, and I know everybody says they're speeding, they really aren't. They're doing 20, 25 the most when they're plowing or sanding. It worked out well. It really has. And of course, it's been a light winter. But if we would have had a good one, you know, with 18 storms and plowing 30 to 40 times, it would have been great. Yep.
Scott, you had a question?
Yes, so in 2023, actually, I had part-time employees, but I don't see anything budgeted going forward for the part-time.
How you doing? I'm department head salary, also the part-time guy.
Well,
And you had rec directors, the rec guy got with you too.
No, not with plowing. I'm the part-time guy, so we took it out. Cause you can't get nobody part-time who knows the routes, knows the trucks. I mean, I hit stuff, you know, I hit telephone pole there a couple of years ago, mailboxes, but people don't ask why though.
So
You
you're
know,
living up to the part-timers.
Yeah. You know, you're running these trucks at $200,000, you know, they're overweight, you know, when you got them loaded. You're gonna take somebody that's not experienced and put them in it, it's not realistic, it really isn't. So, we were just putting it in there and just took it out.
Last year, there were a lot of conversation about balancing what, like paving, I guess I'll get to write my question. How did you do with what you expected to get roads done versus what your goal was? Did you get to your goal, I guess, is that about way to do it? Did you get stuff done, or did you have some stuff you didn't get to?
Oh, no, last year, didn't pave any roads. I didn't have crew enough to replace culverts. There were some days we were ditching with three guys, the operator, dump truck driver, and one flagger. We're supposed to have two flagger, and somebody set up with laser. You know, we done the best we could. When you're down to 4 guys, not much you can do. You know, we got lucky and fulfilled the positions.
But you got a huge amount of work scheduled, potentially.
I do.
Yep.
And we'll see what happens. You know, if the weather doesn't
What do you do
rain.
with the paving bids?
The paving bids, I like to go out early with them.
Well,
As soon as you guys just agree to this, if you guys say yes right now, I'll go put them out.
We'll do the capital.
Huh?
When we do the capital.
I got quite a few roads we have to do. I got quite a few of them that are ready to do. You know, it's just paving. So, but that's, you know,
But you already got quite a bit of money in the reserve account for paving, correct?
oh yeah,
Like close to $1 million.
oh yeah.
So you really don't need to worry about this
Oh, no, I do.
out of the.
Yeah, for the
No,
capital.
no, it's not in the operating.
Come on, the capital.
That's capital.
Yeah, but we've already got it from the last previous 2 or 3 years
Yeah.
we've built up.
Yeah.
So that's already in your coffers.
Yes.
So we shouldn't have to worry about the $50,000 or $100,000 that we have in here for this.
For this is my operating, it's not my
Just-
capital.
Okay.
This is
Okay.
Yeah. But, you
But
got,
you still got over $1 million, close to $1 million in reserve.
oh yeah,
So
yeah.
that's still a lot of paving. So you
10
could
miles.
potentially-
10 miles.
Hmm?
That's 10 miles of paving.
Yeah, but you could still start to look for potential.
You can. I'm from the old school,
I know.
all right?
But you just asked as soon as we do this, but what if this doesn't happen right off?
If this doesn't, I'm not gonna put it in. And the reason I say this, I mean, I just went through a set of scales that 3 months ago was $20,000 more. I waited 3 months and the price dropped $20,000. The paving, the same thing. If I turn around and put up 5,000 ton, 10,000 ton, 12,000 ton of pavement, the price is gonna drop. I wouldn't wanna do it in half right now. I really
So there
wouldn't.
is a time to do it.
There's time to do it as soon as I get approval, you know, from you guys. Yep. You approve the budget, I'll put it out there.
Any other questions? Bob?
You have been talking to MMA about these lasers they put on plows.
Yes.
Any interest in those?
I tell you, we could probably rip them off in no time. Yep. Yeah.
Is MMA
That's-
paying for them?
Well, it's swear by them, they say they look like.
That's
Well,
my
you're-
question.
you're forgetting,
Is the
Bob.
MMA gonna buy it?
Maybe the city
No.
street.
Yeah, you're forgetting the state roads. All right, they plow the good ones, they give us all the bad ones.
That's true.
I know it is.
Yeah.
I know it is.
4 down 95, a little different.
Yeah, yeah. Yep.
Does anybody else get?
Yeah, I got another question. So,
Yep.
unless I'm missing something,
Yep.
you know, I know your good looks and personality go a long way,
Yeah.
you know, but I'm not seeing an increase in salary for any staff. Am I missing that?
I missed that memo too, but it's, I don't know. Right now, the guys I have are happy. You hear a lot of things out there. I've got a town next to us that are starting their drivers at 28. And you know, you hear a lot of talk, these guys are gonna go, them guys are gonna go. I don't know, you have to wait and see. I mean, I don't wanna be, you know, held, or the town held hostage just from other towns or city, their prices going up. You know, they gotta compare, you got insurance to compare, benefits, there's more to it than that. So I, one of my guys, I have a funny feeling I'm gonna lose 2 guys this year. And one of my guys I already know is gonna go to that town as soon as there's an opening.
Well, that's my concern.
And, you know, I don't blame him, but it's not fair. You know, we turn around and do this, and then we start giving the employees and everybody else, they can hold us hostage. Well, wait a minute, that town's paying more, that town's paying more. I'm not competing with them. You know, if we're gonna do it right, to do this right, all right, is it should be a salary survey done. You know, there's different things. You've got towns that just do maintenance. You got towns that are like us, do maintenance and construction. You've got Rockland pays, I think it is $103 a week for them guys pay for their insurance. We're paying $80 every 2 weeks. There's quite a difference there, you know, but everything you hear about, well, they're gonna be paying this, they're gonna be paying that. I don't like to play that game, and I'm sorry, and these guys are happy.
They did get a contractual increase per their contract.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep,
that was as of June 2023.
Yep.
Good question.
yep. You know, the only thing that I can say, to be fair to these guys, you know, my guys, I can't talk for anybody else, but I think their increase was 3%. It's kind of too bad, you know, if the cost of living went up 5, I don't know what it is, you know, that we couldn't give them 5, but I'm not gonna start increasing the rates. I mean, I'm a taxpayer too. You know, sorry. That's how I feel about it.
Any other questions? I thought you had a job.
I did. Look, your guys are union contracted,
Yep.
right? So that's part of the contract
The
between the
3%.
union rep and the union in negotiation.
Yeah,
Right.
yep. Yep.
I agree with you, Johnny. I think you're right, and I commend you for giving back $21,700.
Mhm.
You've done fine work over the years. Top-notch guy. I got a new culvert.
Yeah, that's why you're sucking
Everything's
up.
good.
It's all about Billy. It's all about Billy.
I just want to point out that the Public Works Union did not ask to reopen negotiations.
No, no, they did.
They did not.
Nope.
So we followed the contract.
Anybody else got any more questions? Johnny?
What's the new number now, Peg?
So the new number is
1286841.
$1,286,840. Which is a 5.91% change from last year.
I'll make a motion if you're ready.
Absolutely. Whenever you're ready, Bob.
I'll move to 286,840 for the Public Works Department.
Is there a second?
Second. Oh, sorry.
I'll second.
You used to do
I know.
Have it.
I used to second his things.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Will, you probably can't, you're gonna have to abstain. 401. Budget committee.
Okay, we've got a figure of $1,286,840. We have a motion.
So moved.
Jan, you want to
Second.
second it? Got it. Thank you.
Got it.
Okay, any more questions, discussions? All those in favor? 6, 7, 8, 9. That looks like all of us.
Awesome.
Thank you. All right, and thank you, John.
Don't go anywhere, John.
No.
Transfer station. What page is that, Patty?
It's its own fund.
Oh, great.
It has its own special place.
What's that, in the trash? Sorry, I didn't.
I was up there today and your guys are all happy.
Wait, yep,
Of course, it was 3:45, so.
that's probably why.
We're talking about trash.
Yeah. Yeah, I missed the memo on this one too. But this budget's gone up, it's over $1 million now. This is for trash. And, like I've said all along, we can probably cut this budget by $400,000. And I know nobody likes to hear it, but I am the department head and I have to say where we can cut budgets. And I guess we have to open it up discussion because I'm sure I'm gonna get quite a few of them.
I got a question.
Go ahead, Scott.
So haulers that we have, how many haulers do we have and what do we charge for the annual fee for, if I wanted to be a hauler to haul trash?
The haulers were down to 7. I think we upped the price to 75, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Yep.
$75 a year?
Yeah. Yep. Huh?
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
I
What's
feel
your
great
opinion?
about it.
You like
I
that
really do.
75,
Yeah, if you turn around, I could charge them 4,000, 3,000. Guess what they're gonna do?
They're gonna up the price.
They're gonna up their price and you guys are gonna pay for it, so why would I do that? You know, that's my thinking, and I know it's their thinking. So,
Cheap business to run there, it is.
Okay. Going off Johnny's estimate of what we would save by paying Hitch's Row, what would be Waldeboro's percentage?
I think we need more information to
Be-
proceed
On just
for
at the
that.
400,000, if he thought it was at 400,000, what would,
You mean just reduce the,
yeah, 66% of it.
okay, so
Yeah.
250,000.
oh, wow,
Yeah,
that percent,
yeah.
I'm
Yes,
sorry,
that
I thought you were
percentage.
talking
Yeah.
about
No, no,
going a totally different
Yeah.
way.
you get the calculator over there, but I get one on my phone too. I figured you probably-
All right, hold on a second. I wanted to see if I had something already.
Not everyone may know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
That's what Johnny mentioned, that
Pay as
taking
you
it
throw
down,
is
that's what his
adopted.
head's thinking, correct?
Yep.
He's
Yes.
thinking about the pay-as-you-throw, which
Yeah.
you may have seen it on some of the meetings or also in the paper. You know, that's what he's talking about.
It is.
Yeah.
Or,
Is what? we
Variable.
shared the 3 towns, and
yep,
what's Waldeboro's percentage of that 400,000%,
66,
but what's that number?
200 and,
400,000?
yeah.
Hold on, I thought I had something cool to.
2/3 of that, what's that, 270 something? What?
Yep.
270?
But it could be more, and seeing as how Will can't vote, or he can't get into this,
Friendship doesn't include their summertime people, correct?
that's right, we'll get to that.
It would be 261,000.
Okay. I just want to give people a perspective of what the town would be saving itself.
You
not
can
just
call
the
it,
transfer station.
we can call it pay-as-you-throw, we can call it, variable rate disposal, or whatever. But seeing as how Will can't vote or do anything else, you start reading that too.
All the way down.
Yeah. I gotta find something for you to do.
Variable rate programs provide a number of advantages for communities and residents. Equity. Variable rates are fair. Customers who use more service pay more. Economic signal. Under variable rates, behavior affects a bill, regardless of what disposal choices a household makes. Without variable rates, after recyclers pay the same as large disposers. Variable rates provide a recurring economic signal to modify behavior and allow small disposers to save money compared to those who use more service and impose more costs on the system. Lack of restrictions. Variable rates do not restrict customer choices. Customers are not prohibited from putting out additional garbage. This is more for trash collecting. For those who want to put out more, will pay more. Efficiency. Variable rate programs are generally inexpensive to implement, and unlike recycling programs, do not require additional pickup trucks. They also help prevent overuse of solid waste services. Rather than fixed all-you-can-throw charges, which encourage overuse of the service, volume-based rates encourage customers to use only the amount of service they need. Waste reduction. Unlike recycling programs alone, which only encourage recycling, variable rates reward all behaviors: recycling, composting, and source reduction. That reduce the amount of garbage thrown away. Source reduction is the cheapest waste management strategy, and thus of the highest priority, and it is not directly encouraged by recycling and yard waste programs. Speed of implementation. Pay-as-you-throw programs can be very quickly put in place. One community installed a variable rate program in less than 3 months, although most take longer. Flexibility. Pay-as-you-throw programs can be implemented in a variety of sizes and types of communities with a broad range of collection arrangements. And last is environmental benefits. Because they encourage increased recycling and waste reduction, variable rate programs are broadly beneficial to the environment.
Hey, thank you.
That's
Good
all
job. Hey.
So for us, that'd be, in reduction, like what, 3 million pounds a year?
Uh,
Solid waste?
yeah, probably. We're at 36, we take in total, we're doing almost 400 ton of recycling, so you could probably, yeah, be quite a bit. So, what happens, when you go pay as you throw, the people who use it are the one who pays for it. If you got somebody that comes in with a bag, that's what they pay for. If somebody comes in with a pickup load, that's what they're gonna pay for. You know, everybody's, what I've heard, well, what about poor people? We're not stopping them from recycling, you know, whatsoever. If poor people can't afford the bags, I mean, this town does everything. For poor people, it can. I mean, I've been out in the middle of the night taking fuel in the cold for people who run out. I mean, everybody runs into problems. We help with everything, food, everything, so that's no excuse. People say, trash side the road. It's gonna increase that. Well, a couple weeks ago, somebody threw a whole pickup load of trash side Robinson Road. We went and picked it up. And it was free to take to the dump. It doesn't matter. Out of the 140 towns in the state of Maine, the state planning office talked to every one of them that are doing pay-as-you-throw, and it hasn't increased. Roadside dumping has not increased that much. At first, but then people get used to it. This is a way help cut down the taxes, you know. This is a way for people to be fair. I've got older people come up transfer station pouring rain. They'll be out there and they'll recycle the thing of milk, or they'll go, they got a newspaper and stuff like that. I got a young fella, low income, comes in, whole pickup load of trash. Really? You know, I just can't see it. I mean, we have an area for leaves. It's 100 feet away. Had a guy pull up to the hopper, just dump bags of leaves right down the hopper. You know, what are we supposed to do? You know, and it's not fair. It's like, you know, the water company. If you're on town water, you're gonna pay. They put a meter on there to keep track of it, you know? If they didn't, somebody could be running the water all the time. It's the only fair way. It's gotten to the point where it's really, really ridiculous, you know, and I've been saying it, I don't know how many years. You know, you just see it more and more, and it's not right, you know?
Scott?
So, what would that do to the haulers if pay as you go, you know, if I had my trash picked up, which I don't, I take it to the dump, I would still buy the bags for the haulers and be the same?
Yeah, it wouldn't do anything to the haulers.
Right.
That's why I've been looking into it.
Yeah.
If we went the tags or the tickets or the cans, all right, it would be more of a pain for the haulers. Go in the bags, haulers don't have to do anything different whatsoever. Every pay-as-you-throw facility in the state of Maine has seen almost a 30 to 50% reduction in tonnage in solid waste. They've turned around and seen 30 to 40% increase in recycling. I mean, our recycling is down to 15%. You know, that's quite a.
We only recycle number 2 plastic. A lot of my trash is the other number plastic.
Yep.
Yeah, how come we can't recycle the other number? Why is it only number 2?
Well, the reason is we don't have an avenue to get rid of that, and I hear that a lot, which is interesting. People say the other plastics. When we was doing the 1 through 7, I'd get about 20 to 25 ton a year. That isn't much, but we in turn went to rigid plastic, which a lot of stations and places don't take. You know, that's 80, 90 ton a year. So there's quite a difference. And the rigid, of course, does weigh more. Kids' toys, bait boxes, buckets, you know, stuff like that. But I am looking into towards Rockland Way and that way. They are taking the 1 through 7. It's got to be right clean, no contamination whatsoever. I would like to try it, but the thing is, there again, if it gets contaminated, I have to pay, I can't remember, it was either $95 or $145 a ton. So, you know, it's iffy. But a lot of people say that, which is odd, because they don't weigh out. You know, we're through Lincoln County, which is great. It's saving us a lot of money. I know a lot of people complain, say it's costing us. If we didn't have Lincoln County, every one of them containers up top would be 15, 20,000 apiece. We'd end up having to get a baler. That's $250,000. We'd probably need a building. I know we would need a building for storage. You're talking probably $1 million, $1.5 million. We'd need to buy trailers. I know the transfer trailer, the ejector trailer that we're looking into right now is almost $120,000. And we'd probably need 2 or 3 cargo trailers. We'd need more men, and we'd need more equipment. So everybody can complain about Lincoln County, but unless they turn around and go look, what these other transfer stations of any size have to do their recycling. Booth Bay,
I'm
have
missing-
other ones.
What do you mean when you're saying Lincoln County? The county itself has a waste disposal facility?
County itself
Yeah.
does the recycling.
They do the recycling?
They do. Lincoln County is the only county in the state of Maine that does that.
And all the towns contribute to it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they're saving us unreal amount of money.
Well, it's about 30, last time I looked when it was figuring it out, it's about $32 to $35 a ton is what it cost us to get rid of.
In a way, it does.
No, it does.
No, but you're not figuring it out.
No, I'm just saying it's cheaper that way, but it
It's
does.
a lot
still does
cheaper, that's
cost.
what I'm saying. Yeah, it's not free.
$35 a ton instead of $95.
Right, correct.
Yeah, it'd be more than that.
200 bucks.
You'd be close to $300 or $400 a ton, because that's what everybody, by the time they bale it, you turn around, have to store it, have to find a broker for it, then it's gotta be hauled there, yeah.
Where's that facility?
The Foy Road.
Wiscasset.
I've been there many times when I was hauling the crab shells and clam shells
Yep.
over. I
Yep.
was hauling tons over.
Yep.
They loved it.
Oh, yeah.
If anybody would like a tour of that facility, we can arrange that through the county.
I wanna see that.
I would like, that
Seth?
sounds super cool.
Couple of questions, just for the consumers,
Yep.
people might be watching. So, if we went to paper bag, I travel around, I see colored bags on the side
Yep.
of the road or whatever. So they would buy, like, Arima bags,
Yes.
and how many bags would they get? And how much would that cost? Any idea?
Right now, and, I haven't broken this down nitty gritty, because everybody's been ignoring me about it for the last 30 years. So, I'd say probably about $2 to $2.25 right now, what I see.
What's Warren charge? Warren's got it, so what's Warren charge?
I don't know.
I
don't.
figured you might know.
No, I have a list at the garage, but I can't remember them all.
So you would get for $2 or $2.50, whatever it might be, you would get how many bags? One
Yeah.
bag?
Yep.
One
Yep.
bag?
Want.
Yeah, one bag, yep. Yep.
How big is the bag?
The bags
Sure.
range
Do you
from,
joke on that one?
Well,
the bags range from, I think 15-gallon bags to 30-gallon bags, contractor bags.
so how many, so you, I get my Clink bags, which
Yep.
are, I can get a lot of bags for $2.50. But, so I'm just trying to figure, personally, on average, I'm a household of two.
Yep.
We might throw 3 or 4 bags a week. How many bags would
Well,
you
you gotta
get?
recycle then.
Yeah, you don't recycle them.
You gotta recycle.
Yeah.
Well, I'm recycling. No, let's not, let's move on. I don't put any plastics or anything. I take care of those other ways. So, but for, I don't know how many bags in a week an average person goes through with garbage.
Usually it's 3, and usually, if they turn around and go through their trash, and recycle everything they can that's in there, they're down to 1, or less than 1.
I'm not against that.
Yep.
The other thing is, what about, would this affect people who are just throwing miscellaneous metal or other?
No, you're already paying. See, this is the part that gets
Throw a
me.
tire in there, throw it in the hop.
Well-
Trash bag, throw it in the hop if you wanted to.
We're already charging people for that stuff. And that's what I can't understand, why it's been such a fit for all these years. We're already charging people to throw this stuff, so much a pound, so much a tire, so much a TV, or everything else.
Yeah, I'm paying for that, but I mean, if I
Yep.
go up and throw some miscellaneous metal, I don't get charged for that.
Nope. But if you take wood up, you will be.
It goes in the tax cycle.
I just wanted to, I pulled up the Warren transfer station, and garbage bags there are sold in sleeves and are available at the town office or transfer station. The cost is $6.25 per sleeve of 5 for 35-gallon bags, and $25 per sleeve for 10 55-gallon bags.
Yep.
Well, and our people are gonna be able to get these bags other than going to the town office or the
Yeah.
transfer station?
Yeah, there's a company comes in, sets it up, all the stores around, you know, whatnot. It's, I've been saying this, the committee has looked into it. I'm running into issues. We charge Cushion and Friendship by population. I have to go by the census, all right? You turn around in the summertime, you go down Cushion. There's 400 or 500 more residents down there. You go down Friendship, there's 200 or so. I can't get the information from them. It's odd. I've got selectmen on my committee, from each town. But I've had Tanya call to try to find out, because I'm trying to be fair. If you guys have that many more people, you should be paying more, But I can't get no answer, so.
Just for the benefit of those that don't know, you have composting there also.
Yep.
And meaning food waste.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people are aware that that they can take food waste, which amounts to about 30% of their trash.
Yeah, food waste is up to almost 50% of the trash now, because of it being wet and everything else. So it's quite different. We advertise, there's signs there. You can only lead so many people. I've been through this for years. We've been doing this quite a while, as well advertise and talk to people. Yeah.
But I think in reference to people being concerned about the price of bags,
Yep.
if they thought about what they're not recycling,
Yep.
it's really what you end up with is not 4 bags, you end up with
Yep.
maybe 2. The other question I had is, what would it take to add number 1 plastic? I know it doesn't weigh a lot, and that's the problem.
The problem is I can't get rid of it.
Yeah, okay, there's no
Lincoln
market.
County, there's no market, they don't have an avenue. I am looking at a different avenue to try, but that would be something that we'd have to take on, not Lincoln County.
Because that's I don't know, you know better, what number plastic that we currently don't recycle would be the highest volume? I don't expect you to know.
No, actually, well, I do. Oh, yeah, you come to a full-service town, yeah.
That's why I live here.
Yeah. On plastic, like I said, the rigid plastic, this is for last month, we took in about 1,580 pounds. The number 2 colored, we took in 840 pounds. Number 2 natural, 580. When we was doing 1 through 7, we was running maybe 200 pounds a month.
This was
so
when?
pre-COVID.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the other towns, Warren has paper bags.
Warren, Rockland, Rockport, there's 140 of them. And there's thousands of them across the country. Bath.
Mike was next. Then you go.
We can only control what the town of Waldeboro does.
No, you're wrong there.
Would Friendship and Cushing, if they didn't vote for paper, how would we handle Friendship and Cushing not buying into a paper?
I don't know, evidently you didn't hear me. We're 66%.
Correct.
Okay, you have it right there. Also, on our departments, the department selectmen, okay? Waldeboro has 2 votes, Friendship has 1, and Cushion has 1.
So there's no tiebreaker, so that we could not force them to do pay per throw, paper bag.
I don't know. I don't know, I know one town you couldn't, but I know another one that you probably could with some pushing. What do you think,
I
Bob?
think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, friendship's a problem, part of the problem, I shouldn't say
No,
that. I
that's-
don't want
that's
to point
right.
fingers at people. But there's this idea.
Too late.
Yes, if you hire a hauler, and he takes your garbage away and dumps it at our transfer station, you paid for your garbage. They don't get that they're paying for a service.
Yeah.
They're not paying to get their garbage thrown away, they're paying for a service.
Understood.
They're not paying one red cent toward the tipping fee or the transportation fee that we incur when we send it up to Hampton or the
Right,
landfill.
right.
And that message has to be repeated again and again and again.
What,
so
in order to
people
get
understand.
100% pay-per-view or paper bag, paper bag?
Pay-per-view.
Yeah. Pay to throw, we can get, if the town were to vote for it in the town meeting, we could guarantee getting 66% in paper bag. But Cushing and Friendship would have to hold a vote in order to buy in as well.
There's other ways, I guess. There's other ways. I mean, they have board of selectmen, just like I have. As I stated before, for some reason, I can't get the information of the summer residents, but maybe if select board got involved, and if they can't get to the bottom of it,
Have we had any discussions with
I don't know.
Friendship?
I don't know.
Should we invite them? Should our select boards invite a council?
Well, I will tell you, that's why we're paying 66%. And to me, it isn't right. You know,
So the transfer station committee is comprised of representatives from each town.
Yep.
And the transfer station committee has just taken this on, honestly. They haven't done research since 2016. Bob, correct me if I'm wrong, we're just starting this process, correct?
Yep.
So I think, there's a lot more to be done. And we've promised, at least I think the select board has promised, that this would go before the voters, at least in Waldeboro in November.
Mhm.
But we just have to have the actual, I think the transfer station committee needs time to do the actual research and put together what their recommendations along with John's are going to be, and present the public with the potential savings. And I think the big question that, at least from everything that I've been being asked, is how does it affect what you pay in taxes? And I know people don't wanna, I think that question has to be explained to the public, is if I'm now going to be charged per bag, that savings, where is that? Is that going to be savings? You know, because some people are skeptical, well, if it's a savings in my taxes, it'll just be spent someplace else. So I think that there's a lot of work to be done to educate the public on pay as you throw, but I think there's gotta be a commitment too, that is the savings, because if people don't see that on the other side, it's going to confirm the belief that is out there that you're paying twice.
I understand that, but I'm mostly concerned right now about, say, we obtain that 50% reduction here in Waldeboro, but we're still gonna be paying 60% of the tipping fees and basically subsidizing Friendship and Cushing. If they don't come along and we're very successful, they're getting a windfall, and we're sort of getting screwed.
We gotta start somewhere, right?
Well,
This has been, well, like I said, 30-odd years I've been shooting this. You know, I turned around and I shot you guys 10,000 for sand and cutting edges. Hey, you grab that. Now I'm shooting you 400,000 and we're having this talk.
Well, it's not gonna affect this year's budget anyway.
Huh?
That's my,
It's
that's
not-
my question.
It's not gonna affect this year's budget.
So why are we wasting time talking about it?
Yeah, but see, you, like you just said, wasting
Planting
time.
seeds.
That's great. It could affect this year's budget, cause you could turn around and really, get into it. All right, it's like what Will read, it can be done in 3 months. If you guys don't wanna do it, it's fine. I mean, I've been 30-odd years, so.
Scott?
I had maybe 3 questions. So the bags are provided to the transfer station and the town office for free from the state, or do we have to pay for those?
We have to pay for them.
Okay. Off of that, why wouldn't we just charge per bag when someone shows up at the transfer station with 6 bags of trash and not have to buy bags? We use the same bags we're using today.
Probably could. I'd probably have to
So why?
set things up different.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have an attendant at the
Same thing
transfer
with a
station.
hauler, though, you'd have to go through a hauler's truck to
Oh,
find
yeah.
out how many bags
Yeah.
was in there.
What size
Yeah.
registration was the other?
So who polices if they have the right bags when they show up at the transfer station?
Well, you pick these weird colored bags, so they stick out like a sore thumb.
So if someone shows up and I've got 3 bags, they're not purchased bags, I
blue.
can't, I
Baby
just
blue.
can't, I
Baby
can't
blue.
throw 'em.
You're not gonna dump them.
Barney bags,
Yeah.
they were bright purple.
You don't dump them.
So what is the cost for us for the bags?
I don't know, it seems so, if I remember right, it was like 3 cents per bag, if I remember right. Yeah,
Very cheap, okay.
yeah.
I only say this is, John, is a waste of time, because if we're gonna wait for a November referendum to even start this, it's not gonna affect this year's budget. Because November plus 3 months, and you're out, right? Am I right? Why aren't I?
Because if we pass it in November,
Yes.
we've got, what, 8 months to go in the rest of the fiscal year? And it takes us 3 months to set it up. You've got 5 months left to go in the fiscal year.
Yep.
So you're reducing your cost for a 5-month period.
So anyways, I guess I've been long enough, so.
One more. I have a different angle, and it's not a,
Yep.
I understand what you're saying about a waste of time. I see this a little differently. I think this is a path worth going down. I get this probably isn't the right group to go down that meeting with, but in my head, prove the number like this isn't gonna be a thing, and then still push forward with it. Because if we make the transition to pay to throw, worst case what? We end up spending less money than we allowed for? So. Right, and that's sort of my point, so approving the budget as is, in no way would shoot that down.
Right.
Right.
And that's, like, I know we all have different opinions on that, that's
Yep.
the path I'd wanna take, I'm excited about your idea.
It's May 4th's the meeting, right?
Hmm?
Is it May 4th, the transfer station meeting?
Yes.
Yeah, yep.
So, right now, we're only debating whether or not to put a pay-as-you-go question on the ballot?
No.
No.
No, there's not, we got nothing to do with that.
No.
It's just that something coming.
He was,
It's good discussion.
Yep.
Very
That's
good
right.
discussion,
Okay,
absolutely.
so there's no question before the board today?
Nope.
Board and
Nope.
I'll take a new person.
Yeah, question, we were saying that it was a $260,000 savings.
Potential.
Potential, right, potential, what would that mean for a taxpayer? What they would be saving on their tax
Wait.
bill?
Well,
Oh,
Sorry, what?
I don't think, we haven't had these numbers looked at since 2016.
right.
I just want to caution everybody, this is a very theoretical discussion, and I'm glad everybody's really passionate about it. But I really think before we start having conversations and throwing numbers around, we actually need to know the numbers.
Yep.
And I think the committee who's been tasked with that has to know the numbers, and they have to report back to the select board, and if you wanna include the budget committee in that, because if we're wrong in what we say tonight, and there will be people who are going to hold everybody accountable for those numbers. And quite frankly, as the town manager of the town of Waldeboro, I don't think that we should be having a numbers discussion, modeling a budget or modeling potential tax savings until we actually know what we're talking about. The information that I've seen is from 2016 and it is now 2024.
That's true. I don't
Yeah.
disagree.
Bob?
Yeah, I agree with Julie. I mean, it's like debating angels on the head of a pin. But the principle is the same regardless of what the numbers turn out to be. The principle is that you transfer the cost of tipping and transport to the bags. People who buy the bags are paying for the cost of tipping and transporting. That comes out of the budget. That's all I have to say. It's a very, it's, at a certain level, it's very simple. We can make it as complicated as we want to. That's the principle of the thing.
John, do you have anything else? I'm gonna get asked. All right. Are we done beating the dead horse?
Yep.
Any more
Good
questions?
conversation.
Well, I mean, there again, this is, I think this is very valuable because we need to, it's not about the bag thing, okay? Because it's gonna cost more money to get rid of the trash. What we need to do is just to give people the information that they have availability to reduce their garbage by 50% by just taking the compost out, and then more by taking the recyclables out.
Yep.
So, you know,
It's a lot
you're
to
gonna pay
it.
that, you know, you're gonna pay either way.
You know, think of it like this. We're turning around paying more for a ton of trash than I pay for a hot top. Yep.
That's a great analogy.
That's what it is. So,
So we start doing the road with trash, is that what you're saying?
yeah, it is.
Thanks for opening up the great conversation piece.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, is there any more questions for John?
Oh, wait, does John, while you're there, do you wanna go over your capital request?
Ugh.
We're gonna vote on the
Or do you just
transfer.
wanna come back for that when we do capital?
Come back.
I'll come back. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll vote on this
We
one
gotta vote
first.
on this budget first, before we
Yep.
do anything else.
Yep.
All right, select board, somebody like to make a motion?
I'll make the motion for $1,020,000, $1,020,799 for transfer station.
Is there a second? Second. Is there any more discussion? Yes. Hearing none? All those in favor? 4-0-1.
I abstain.
Oh. Okay, 3-0 and 2.
Who made the motion? Who was seconded?
Bob made the motion and Mike seconded. So it's 3-0 and 2.
Erase. Give me an eraser.
Got it.
Okay, the
Wait.
select board.
Wait a minute.
giving
Two
us a
abstain?
number- Yes, which I don't understand why John did.
I don't either.
Admin
That's
still
too
does
bad.
that.
Oh,
Admin
dang it.
assistant still does
Oh,
that.
Oh,
okay.
jeez.
All right, all right, good for the clarification.
Okay, budget committee, we've got $1,020,799.
So moved.
Thank you. Any more discussion? All those in favor? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Good.
Now,
Are you leaving?
No, he ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, were you?
Did you wanna move on to your capital?
No, really.
Tell them,
Well,
Johnny.
everything went so good on that one.
Not on the agenda. No.
We'd have fresh brains for that.
So Julie, I guess we're done for the night?
No, you can go on to some of, if you can be done for the night, or we could go
Yeah, I
on to
think-
some of
I think we
some of the other small items that we always like to deal with, like the fire hydrants and,
What is?
Streetlights.
Per my
that's
contract.
totally
it'll
up
be
to you,
on my
Chairman.
45-minute bathroom break.
Well, I'm gonna ask what the board wants to do, the boards want to do, if they wanna call it a night.
I make the motion to adjourn.
All right, I guess,
I'll second.
all right, I guess we're adjourning for the night, Julie. So,
So, the budget committee, you wanna
Well,
hang
we're
around
just
and
second.
chat? We're supposed to adjourn first, right?
Correct.
Okay, there ain't nothing to talk about these days, so we have a motion to adjourn. Thank you, Ben, second.
Second.
All those in favor?
What are you gonna do, what are you gonna do with this?
And we have a motion from,
Oh, my goodness.
motion from John to
We're not
adjourn.
adjourned yet.
Second.
We're done?
All those in favor of Bob? You all set to adjourn? All right.
Back.